Guys, this movie is so good, just so entertaining. This is the best Sonic film. I love the first two Sonic films, but this one is on a whole new different level. Does it have its issues? Yes, especially with the plot elements that make no sense and the predictable storylines. But this movie knows its audience. It knows how to deliver to the audience as well, because it unabashedly just gives the audience what we want. Sometimes it feels like writers in Hollywood have no idea what the audiences want and make movies for a vocal group of people on Twitter. Sorry, I meant X. And when the fans criticize their movie, they just shrug it off, like calling it discrimination against towards a race or gender or something like that. This movie is aware of its audience expectations and it just goes for it. It's not trying to subvert any expectations, it just gives us what we want. And let me tell you, usually the theatres near my place are empty, but for this movie, droves of people showed up. I was having difficulties finding a seat in the cinemas. People were clapping after the end credits of the film. That's how satisfied everyone was. Everyone was just happy with what they were given. Here's a quick plot synopsis. Shadow breaks out of a secret government facility after being stuck there for like 50 years. That made Gun, the association that trapped him there in the first place, to call on Team Sonic for help, and they got their asses whooped in Tokyo, all three of them. So now Team Sonic needs to defeat Shadow and the professor he's working with, who just so happens to be Dr. Robotnik's grandpa. Let's talk about the movie. The best part of this movie. How can I not talk about the best part of this movie? Shadow. He is the opposite of what Sonic is. Where Sonic found family, Shadow found pain. And he wants revenge for a human girl named Maria. This is peak. This is everything right here. You know how exactly it's gonna go, and it's going in that direction, but you don't mind because it's just so entertaining. Like, just hands down, absolute cinema, man. And he wasn't just some bad guy doing terrible things. He had character development in this film. His powers is called Chaos Energy and it just looks so cool. Everything is just perfect here. Remember how earlier I said this movie is a lot of fun? Well, there's a lot of emotional moments here as well. I did not expect this at all. I never thought there would be tears welling in my eyes. Not once, but twice. It wasn't just twice where there were emotional ones. There were a couple of emotional beats here and they did a great job with this movie. In terms of the writing, Jim Carrey, and oh my goodness, Jim Carrey, bro. He plays both Dr. Robotnik and his grandpa, and I gotta tell you, it was one of the best decisions they made. Just like what Dr. Robotnik said in this movie, double your villain, double the fun. And I gotta tell you, that is so true right here. The movie is double the fun compared to the previous two movies because of Jim Carrey alone. And yeah, just in general, it's just a lot of fun. I like the camaraderie between Team Sonic, Knuckles being the power of the group and Sonic being the leader and Tails being the gadget expert here. So I really liked how they all came together to work together, even though sometimes their plans really make no sense at all. But it's just really good. It's just really amazing. Now, there is a mid-credit scene. So after you see the credits rolling, don't just leave the theater. Stay there for a while. Wait for the mid-credit scene, because the mid-credit scene is something else. It's really surprising as well. Like, in a good way. Then let's get to the drawbacks now. As I mentioned earlier, the story can be predictable. And there are story elements that make no sense. But who cares? The movie knew that it's going to have a predictable story and story elements that make no sense, but it just went for it because it wants the audience to have a good time. And that's what the movie excels at. It's really a good time in the cinemas. I highly recommend you to go to the theater to watch this one. And that's about it. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel, and see you guys next time. You guys are always the best.